why we're selling all of our small multifamily deals in 2025 and how we can help you, whether you're wondering, should I sell? Should I hold long-term? Should I trade up? If you're new here, welcome. My name is Stephan and I'm with
Stephan.
Together we own 258 units, everything from small multifamily, 7 units, 8 units, 12 units, all the way up to 100 units. Our goal is to get to 1,000 units as a husband-wife duo and help you with your real estate investing goals, no matter where you're at in the process. And today we're talking about, we have decided it's time to sell our smaller deals. You're a real estate agent and broker. We own a brokerage together, but you're the broker, I'm the joker.
It's a good one.
It is true though. We get the question a lot, like, should I sell? Hey, I have a duplex, I have a fourplex, I have a couple single family homes, I want to get into multifamily. Should I sell? We started with single family houses, duplexes, fourplexes, sold all that, bought a 56 unit, and now we're selling small stuff to go hopefully buy a larger deal and kind of break that down for you guys to maybe help you in your journey. So number one, don't knock starting small. A lot of people, and you can talk about this, they want to just go huge. They just want to go like big.
Right.
Starting small is important though.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you have to learn the process. You have to know even if it's for you, if real estate investing is for you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I always recommend just starting with 1 to 4 units. Just learn the process.
Our first investment was a house. I like that you said, is real estate investing for you? Because it is a business.
It is.
It's not like buying stocks. Like today I was in a towel, I got out of the shower, I was sitting at the computer and trade some stocks. Versus like, you can't go collect rent in a towel.
You could.
I mean, probably not the first person to do it, I guess. But it's just different. It's owning a physical product.
Yeah.
And once you get to scale, it's owning a business and understand what goes on with that. So I would challenge people, if they're thinking, should I sell or not? What's the end goal?
Correct. Like, why do you have these properties? I mean, I had a client right now I'm working with selling a single family. It's been sitting vacant for 5 years.
5 years?
5 years.
There might be some raccoons in there.
Yeah, something might be in there. But yeah, we talked about it. I mean, it was kind of what we've talked about before. Sometimes it is sentimental, right? So we talked about, are you going to rehab the property or are you ready to sell it now? So he's deciding to sell the property, but it's also to that of like why we're selling to go into something else. I mean, it's been sitting vacant. It's been appreciating. It's in a great area. But all along we've talked about what's your goal of real estate. He wants to start collecting some income.
I love that too. I love that you said, what's your goal? It's very important not to get caught up looking at other people's goals. Comparison is the thief of joy, right? Comparison syndrome is the thief of joy. You also have another client who's buying houses at 50% leverage, going to give them to her kids.
Yeah, so I mean, I have a client that they bought 4 or 5 last year, single family homes, and then we sold some of those last year. They thought they wanted to go into multifamily. We looked at a lot of multifamily properties with them, but then they decided the strategy they wanted to go on is just put more down on single family homes, so it's a high cash flow, good areas, so it's going to appreciate. They want to hang on to them for 10 to 20 years. So kind of, again, their strategy changed what they wanted. They want this for their daughter.
So what's your end goal? Our end goal, I say this openly, not to impress you guys, but to impress upon you guys, like, join us. Be on this mission of growth and abundance and like investing in your financial future. Like, you don't come from a real estate investing family background. Your parents did well. I grew up on food stamps. We always like joke, but it's true. We're creating like generational wealth for grandkids and grandkids and grandkids. Our goal is to get to 1,000 units, reevaluate, but our end goal is to sell the entire portfolio to either private capital, like a Blackstone, BlackRock, or Wall Street. I'd love to sell to Wall Street. We're looking for a 9-figure exit. That's our grand vision. What's your grand vision? It might be giving 2 paid off rentals to your kids.
Right.
Like, I know my business coach, who we're in his studio here because I'm interviewing him, his goal was to pay off these homes, give them to his kids at high school graduation. Instead of saying, here's a useless degree, no offense to college, but for 95% of people, it's a useless piece of paper. Here's a rental property that's generating cash flow paid off that you can do what you want. So what's your end goal? And again, we're bringing you in our journey so we can create community and do this together. You don't need 1,000 units to live a great life, but you need to be in real estate, and whatever your goal is, like, let's do it together. Let's grow together. Complacency is the enemy of success. People might be wondering, well, okay, you guys have these units and you made money on them. We've refinanced 5 of them, 100% cash out. Why sell? She runs the management company. We do in-house management. Talk about the difference of managing scattered site versus, like, we have 100 unit versus managing 10 units. What's the difference of that?
It's just for your managers. I mean, you have to be at 5 different locations at one time. It's impossible, right?
Yes.
Also, too, with the bigger units, allows for 1 main office. So that's huge, too. I mean, we've come across, too, as silly as it sounds, she's like, well, my stuff is at another office. Well, if it's all in one location, then it's a lot easier for her to run and operate.
This is about management units. There's something I had to learn early on was there's units and then management units. And as you start to scale and as you start to grow your portfolio, you have to really look at how efficiently is this being ran? So like Dr. Ade was one of your clients, right? He had 4 single family homes, but all over the place.
Right.
What do you do with those?
And also too with his, he had some Airbnbs, he had some that were short or long-term rentals. And then he had one that was vacant too, he was gonna rehab. So again, a few different strategies going on, but what we did is we sold 4 of the properties to go into a 12 unit and then 1 other property to go into a duplex.
And like how much easier is that to manage?
So much easier. And also to that 12 unit that we found for him. So again, he's very busy. He's a doctor. He owns 4 paint franchises as well.
Wow, busy.
But yeah, so he bought that 12 unit that already came with somebody that was doing the maintenance, which was huge. So, I mean, he self-manages, but without that maintenance guy that's running the property day to day, I mean, he's completely hands-off instead of, before he was doing Airbnb and it was being turned, every 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
It was very management intensive for him.
So what kind of like lifestyle do you want with this business, right? What type of involvement do you want? Bigger properties support bigger payrolls, right? Like when I started buying small multifamily, I didn't even know what payroll was.
Right.
These bigger assets, like the deal where hopefully the PSA should be signed today, that we're going to go under contract on, it has 4 full-time team members on it. 4 full-time staff members. Right. All you have to do is manage the manager at that point. So we knew as our business started growing and evolving, we didn't want to be in the weeds anymore.
Right.
Like you would do the leasing, you would do the showings, you would rip the crap out when they left it there. We don't want that anymore. So bigger properties affords more of a payroll. It becomes more of a scalable business. So like what you need to ask yourself is what type of lifestyle do you want?
Right.
This is where like Grant Cardone is right because he says skip all the small stuff. I disagree because you want the experience. But if you want to truly make it a scalable, sellable, true business, you can't be involved in the day-to-day. The only way you're not involved in the day-to-day is you have to have enough income coming in to support paying people and income via the way of units. Like Grant Cardone says, the most important number in real estate is number of units. There is some truth to that because if you have 300 units, that's 300 people paying rent. You can go higher and scale and just grow faster.
Right. And I think too, when you're looking at maybe like 5 to 20 units, it might not be somebody that's full time, but it does support some form of team member.
Yeah.
So you have to think about it that way too. If you're like, wow, I'm not going to get to 100 units, I just want a 20 unit. This is something that is very doable if you have a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah, 100%.
To manage on your own.
No matter what, getting bigger always helps.
Yeah.
Who helped me with this is, again, the power of mentorship. You got to get people thinking bigger than you. Shout out to Ben Mala. I've done some consulting calls with him. It was very helpful to me. Go check him out on YouTube. He's got a great YouTube. He's one of the biggest landlords in the state of Florida. Has a $500 million portfolio that he sets at about 50% leverage. So this man's worth $250 million. Probably could take some advice from him, right? He told me, look at your cash flow on the deal. Because this is when I was debating selling the houses and the duplexes to go buy the 56 unit. He said, look at your cash flow on the deal. If you can sell the deal today and get more of a payout than the next 10 years of cash flow, sell it. So let's say if I held the deal, I get $10,000 over the next 10 years in cash flow. But if I sell it today, I'm going to get $20,000, sell the deal. Because he said you can take that $20,000 and turn it into $40,000 much quicker than slowly waiting for the drip of cash flow. So that really helped me. And I did that exercise I saw by holding on to these cute duplexes that I liked and were cute and were not blah, blah, blah. I wasn't growing the portfolio.
Right.
Because what will happen, so someone might have this duplex, they might have this 4 unit, they might have a couple properties, but a great deal comes up, but they're not super liquid. The good thing about real estate is it protects your money, takes it away, and it beats inflation, doesn't allow you to go blow at the casino or go buy a McLaren with it. It locks it away. The bad news is if a new opportunity comes and you haven't had an opportunity yet to replenish your cash savings, what do? You've got this equity over here you can tap into and trade up. Like, what's your advice to people who are in that position? Maybe they have that duplex, maybe they have that couple single family homes. It's like, I'm doing okay with it. I'm looking for a multifamily. I don't have the money to go get it, but I've got this equity. Like, I shared my framework of what I look at. What do you think people should do?
If your goal is to get into multifamily, you should always be looking at multifamily. There's not that many that come available in Metro Detroit, right? So when they do come available, you should be evaluating them and seeing how much, like you just said, can I be making on my duplex? I'm helping a client right now sell his duplex. He's had it for a year, but we're going to 12 units.
So talk about that. So client had the duplex for a year, did okay. His goal was always to get to multifamily. He's a coaching client of mine, and then he works with you because he's out here in LA. LA's overpriced and super hard to get into. So he's like, screw it, I'll go into Metro Detroit. What do you pay price per unit for that duplex? Like 70 grand? $70 price per unit?
So, yeah, around there.
70K price per unit in a duplex, cash flowed on day one, appreciation, value add play. Great. Goal was always to get to multifamily. So what did he do right? Number one, got coaching and mentorship, got help, got support because it's easier to take action when people are supporting you. Number two, he got started. This was a year ago. There was no multifamily.
Right.
So you got him into something.
Yeah. And two, like with this property, the market rent, it was so low. I mean, people were paying like $600 to live in this duplex, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, downstairs, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, upstairs. I mean, that's unheard of.
That's what I'm telling you guys. Metro Detroit is such a value play right now. I can't go to dinner in Southern California for less than $600 in like the valet.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, it's valet here.
He bought that, and then what we did also too is he did increase the rents, not all the way to market, but I mean, both guys have been there for so long. They're like, yeah, I get it. We were getting away with this. So I mean, he increased their rents to make sure he was cash flowing. Hasn't had to put $1 into the property except for what was required from the city certification. So this entire year he's hung on to the property, but again, this 12-unit came up. We knew he wanted to get into multifamily. We're like, here's a good deal. Here's your chance.
I love that. So he got started, took imperfect action. Opportunity came up. He had the money.
Right.
He had the money, but it was in that deal growing for him.
Right.
And he said, you know what? I'm going to liberate that equity that you guys have in your deals. It's potential energy. It's got value to it, but you have to break it out and release it so it can go to work. Go to better work for you. Your job is to scrutinize your money and your portfolio every day and say, is it in the best position for me to make the most amount of money? You got to be able to get your money out and just get it to work best for you if you're going to truly analyze it. So he was able to do that. Now he's under contract for the 12 unit. Do you think he cares that he's sold his duplex?
No, I don't think so. And then also too, so we're taking advantage of the 1031. So that's another thing. You have to time everything up. So if you don't have something else to go into, now you can sell and pay the taxes, but nobody wants to do that. Again, you have to time it up. So one thing has to come first. You either have to list your properties and then you're kind of under the gun to find something. This worked the opposite way. I mean, we only had one to sell. It worked out pretty easily. So you want to take that into consideration as well.
Yeah, you bring a great point up. I forgot, you guys might not know what a 1031 exchange is. We've done it multiple times. I've done total videos on the channel about it that you can go learn in depth. But real estate is almost designed, now that you mentioned that, to trade up. The tax laws favor you trading up your real estate. They almost don't want you just to hold a piece of real estate. So he's able to sell this duplex at a gain, not pay any taxes on it because he's deferring those taxes. He's taking the entire profit and rolling it into a bigger deal. So you can trade up and you can move your money without penalty. Like when you sell a stock, you're gonna pay tax on it for a gain. When you sell cryptocurrency for a gain, you're gonna pay tax on it. If you take an early withdrawal from your 401k or your IRA, you're gonna pay a tax on it. Real estate, you can sell, make money on, go buy a bigger, better, more profitable piece of real estate and not pay taxes on it. God bless America and our founding fathers who came up with this. God bless free market capitalism to where they incentivize home ownership and people to provide housing for other citizens. The US government doesn't want to provide housing. So they incentivize you and I to go out and buy real estate and move it up. It's like monopoly, putting a house on something but then getting 2 houses. And I mean, that's like the formulaic thing. And then you trade up to a hotel and then you bankrupt the competition. That is the formula to wealth building. So we challenge you guys to assess and look at your portfolio, look at your equity, and really ask yourself, like, what is the end goal? There are tools and resources and strategies like the 1031 exchange. Like, where would we be today if we didn't 1031 exchange our properties?
Yeah, we would have paid a lot of taxes, or we'd still have the property.
87 units, right? I think is what we total had. Today we have 258.
Right, from selling and trading up.
At 87 units, did we have a full-time manager?
No, I was managing.
How many full-time managers do we have now?
3.
3, because we traded up. There's more income, there's more payroll, and you're able to do these things today. Better quality of life, so we can work on the business versus in the business. So many, and I'm guilty of this too, small entrepreneurs get stuck working in the business. I've got this duplex and I'm working in, I'm leasing it. Yeah, dude, you're stuck working in the business. How are you growing the business? Who's working on the business?
And I think something too to think about as well. I mean, he bought in a good area, the duplex, but he's also now going into a better area as well. So now that he made some money on the duplex, it's a higher unit count and it's a better area. So again, there's no like shame in starting where he started. It's a great area, but now he's in an even better area.
You got to get in where you fit in. right? You got to get in where you fit in, start where you can start, but then be strategic. So now he's moving to a 12 unit, could then sell that and move to a 24 unit and 36 units. So that's really relevant. And that's why we're deciding it's time to sell our small deals. They've been amazing. We've done 500% cash out refinances on them. We've pulled out all of our original capital, which is tax-free, but we still have 30% equity, if not more, in all of those deals because we've been paying down principal on top of it. We have to now get that equity out and get it to work better for us. And that was the decision. So we're sharing our journey here so you can look at your portfolio and you can learn. Again, as we grow, we want you guys to grow. We want to be able to do this together and build like a community. Just people out there going for their goals, growing. It's more fun, back to our client example there, it's more fun to pull up to a 12 unit and say, I'm the owner versus a duplex. They want to learn about these deals. They're going to be listed with who?
They're going to be listed with the Stephan group.
With Andrea. So if they want to learn potentially about when these deals are available, where should they go for that?
So if you want to learn more about that, go to StephanGroupRealEstate.com and you can fill out the EOI form.
Yep, expression of interest, or just DM you directly. We're sharing our journey of growth. It's hard to sell a couple of those units because they've been nice to us, but sometimes you can't be afraid to give up good for great. You can't be afraid to leave your comfort zone to grow. You can't be afraid to give up what you know versus the unknown, because then we're going to be under the time crunch of like,
we got to find something.
We got to find something, but that's how you grow. You got to take calculated risk. You got to be willing to bet on yourself, and you can't rest on your laurels. So only constant in business is change, and thinking things are going to stay the same is the biggest fallacy of business. Sharing our journey to help you with yours. Hey, if this was helpful, let us know. Leave a comment below. Again, we answer your guys' direct questions with this. So if you've enjoyed learning from our experience, let us know. Leave a comment below. Grab my free resources. I have my free masterclass. It was a whole in-person full day event that we ran. You can get my 1 hour talk for absolutely free. Grab my book that sells for $19 on Amazon for absolutely free as a digital download below. Also, our multifamily due diligence checklist, what we look for when we're buying a deal. You can grab that for free in the link below. Finally, if you're looking for one-on-one help, you're looking for a one-on-one mentorship, you need some coaching and support, just like the clients we broke down in this example are all clients of ours in our coaching program and with our brokerage. Fill out the link in the description there so you can learn more about my coaching program. I can learn more about your goals. If I feel like I can add value to you, we'll reach out and have a conversation. Till next time, thank you guys for watching. We'll talk soon.